Welcome back to our AWS certification series. If you haven't seen the previous videos, we recommend checking them out first to review earlier questions along with their answers and explanations. Now, let's dive into the next set of questions. Which AWS feature allows users to connect two separate VPCs for private communication? Correct answer: VPC peering. Explanation: VPC peering allows communication between two VPCs using private IP addresses without requiring Internet gateways or VPN connections. Why others are incorrect? Amazon Route 53 DNS Web Service, not used for connecting VPCs. AWS Direct Connect provides dedicated network connection from on-premises to AWS. VPC endpoints allow private connection to AWS services, not between VPCs. A business wants low-cost, scalable object storage for millions of images and videos. Which AWS service should they choose? Correct answer: Amazon S3. Explanation: Amazon S3 is optimized for scalable object storage and is ideal for storing large numbers of files like images and videos at low cost. Why others are incorrect? EC2 instance store temporary storage tied to EC2 lifecycle. Amazon EBS block storage, higher cost and not optimized for object storage. Amazon SQS, message queue service, not a storage solution. Which AWS tool provides users with answers to frequently asked questions about billing and account management? Correct answer: AWS Knowledge Center. Explanation: AWS Knowledge Center offers a collection of FAQs and guidance on billing and account-related queries. Why others are incorrect? Amazon Connect, Cloud Contact Center, not self-help for billing. AWS Marketplace, source for third-party software, not billing guidance. Amazon Pinpoint, used for messaging and marketing, not billing support. A company needs to dynamically adjust computing resources based on traffic spike. What AWS benefit allows this capability? Correct answer: elasticity. Explanation: Elasticity refers to the ability to scale resources up or down automatically to meet demand. Why others are incorrect? Agility refers to rapid development and deployment. Cost savings, a general benefit, not specific to dynamic resource scaling. Global deployments pertains to region and availability zone use, not scaling compute. Which AWS service allows developers to publish and manage RESTful APIs? Correct answer: Amazon API Gateway. Explanation: Amazon API Gateway enables developers to create, publish, and manage REST, HTTP, and WebSocket APIs at scale. Why others are incorrect? AWS App Mesh Service Mesh for microservices, not for managing APIs. Amazon CloudFront CDN for content delivery, not for API management. AWS Cloud Map, used for service discovery, not API creation. To follow best practices, which IAM entity should be used to grant AWS service permissions to an application? Correct answer: IAM role. Explanation: IAM roles are ideal for granting permissions to applications running on AWS because they can be assumed and rotated without long-term credentials. Why others are incorrect? IAM MFA provides multi-factor authentication, not permission assignment. IAM group manages users, not used for application-level permissions. IAM user meant for individuals, not applications. Which AWS service allows full control over the OS and database setup for a MySQL instance? Correct answer: Amazon EC2. Explanation: with EC2, users can install and configure the OS and MySQL database manually, providing maximum control. Why others are incorrect? Amazon DynamoDB NoSQL service, not used for MySQL. Amazon Aurora, managed relational DB, limited control over OS. Amazon RDS, managed MySQL, limits OS-level access. Which AWS service helps manage billing and grant access across multiple AWS accounts? Correct answer: AWS organizations. Explanation: AWS organizations allows centralized billing and management of multiple AWS accounts. Why others are incorrect? AWS budgets tracks costs but doesn't manage accounts. AWS IAM controls permissions, not billing management. Cost Explorer visualizes usage, doesn't handle account access. How can a company get one invoice while tracking departmental AWS usage costs separately? Correct answer: consolidated billing. Explanation: consolidated billing under AWS organizations provides one invoice while tracking costs per account. Why others are incorrect? AWS budgets sets spending limits but not used for invoicing. Savings plans reduces cost but doesn't manage billing. Cost and usage reports provides data but not consolidated billing. A global organization needs to centrally manage network connectivity across multiple VPCs in different regions. What AWS service should be used? Correct answer: AWS Transit Gateway. Explanation: AWS Transit Gateway simplifies and scales connectivity among VPCs and on-premises networks through a central hub. Why others are incorrect? AWS Direct Connect, dedicated line from on-premises to AWS, not VPC interconnect. VPC endpoints connects VPCs to AWS services, not VPC to VPC. Site-to-site VPN connects on-premises to AWS, not ideal for VPC interconnection at scale. Which AWS service enables employees to securely access cloud-hosted virtual desktops from personal devices? Correct answer: Amazon Workspaces. Explanation: Amazon Workspaces is a managed, secure cloud desktop service that enables users to access virtual desktops from any supported device. Why others are incorrect? FSx provides file storage, not desktop virtualization. AppStream 2.0 stream apps, not full desktop. AppSync API service for syncing app data in real time. A company needs to perform SQL-based analytics on structured and semi-structured data in an Amazon S3 data lake. Which AWS service should they use? Correct answer. Amazon Redshift. Explanation. Amazon Redshift supports SQL-based queries on structured and semi-structured data stored in S3 using Redshift Spectrum. Why others are incorrect. Neptune Graph Database, not for analytics on S3. DynamoDB NoSQL Database, not SQL-based. RDS OLTP Database, not suited for petabyte-scale analytics. Which AWS service helps migrate on-premises MySQL databases to Amazon RDS with minimal downtime? Correct answer. AWS Database Migration Service. Explanation. AWS DMS allows seamless and minimal downtime migration of databases to AWS, including MySQL to Amazon RDS. Why others are incorrect. SCT converts schema but doesn't migrate data. Direct Connect, Network Connection Service, not for database migration. SMS for migrating servers, not databases. Which AWS service enables image recognition, categorization, and facial analysis? Correct answer. Amazon Rekognition. Explanation. Amazon Rekognition uses machine learning to analyze and classify images and videos for object, scene, and face recognition. Why others are incorrect. QuickSight Business Intelligence Tool, not for image analysis. Aurora Relational Database, not used for image processing. Transcribe converts speech to text, unrelated to images. A financial institution must archive call recordings for 6 years with retrieval time under 48 hours. Which AWS storage service is best? Correct answer. Amazon S3 Glacier. Explanation. Amazon S3 Glacier provides low-cost archival storage with retrieval options under 48 hours, ideal for long-term compliance use cases. Why others are incorrect. ElastiCache in-memory caching, not for long-term storage. Connect Cloud Contact Center, not a storage service. DynamoDB NoSQL Database, not suitable for large media file storage. Which AWS security service identifies threats and unauthorized activities in AWS accounts and S3 data? Correct answer. Amazon Guard Duty. Explanation. Amazon Guard Duty continuously monitors for malicious or unauthorized behavior to protect AWS resources and data. Why others are incorrect. Firewall Manager, Central Security Rule Enforcement, not threat detection. Inspector, analyzes vulnerabilities in EC2, not for behavior monitoring. Shield protects against DDoS attacks, not internal threat. A developer wants a fully managed NoSQL database without managing servers. Which service should be used? Correct answer. Amazon DynamoDB. Explanation. Amazon DynamoDB is a serverless NoSQL database that requires no infrastructure or software management. Why others are incorrect. Aurora Managed SQL Database. Redshift Data Warehouse, not for transactional workloads. RDS requires more management and is SQL-based. A company redesigned workloads using AWS native services to cut costs. Which cost governance best practice is this? Correct answer. Architectural optimization. Explanation. Architectural optimization focuses on using the right AWS services and designs to increase efficiency and reduce costs. Why others are incorrect. Tagging helps organize and track resources, not about architecture. Resource controls involves usage restrictions, not design. Cost allocation categorizes spending, not about efficiency gains. A company uses EC2 auto scaling and load balancer to improve availability. Which AWS well-architected framework pillar is addressed? Correct answer. Reliability. Explanation. Reliability ensures a system can recover from failures and meet availability requirements. Auto-scaling and load balancer enhance fault tolerance. Why others are incorrect. Security focuses on data and access protection. Operational excellence involves monitoring and operations, not directly fault recovery. Performance efficiency ensures resource efficiency, not availability. What does a service control policy in AWS manage? Correct answer. AWS organizations. Explanation. SCPs are used in AWS organizations to set permission guardrails across accounts, managing what actions can be performed. Why others are incorrect. AWS regions. SCPs do not directly manage regions. Edge locations, related to CloudFront, not permission policies. Availability zones, not controlled via SCPs. Which AWS service allows secure delivery of desktop applications in a fully managed cloud environment? Correct answer. Amazon AppStream 2.0. Explanation. Amazon AppStream 2.0 is a fully managed service that securely delivers virtual desktop applications to any device without needing to manage infrastructure. Why others are incorrect. S3 object storage, not an application streaming service. Outposts extends AWS infrastructure on premises, not for application streaming. AppSync, real-time data sync for apps, not desktop app access. A team needs to monitor EC2 instance metrics like CPU usage and network throughput. Which AWS service should they use? Correct answer. Amazon CloudWatch. Explanation. Amazon CloudWatch collects and monitors metrics for AWS resources like EC2, including CPU, memory, and network metric. Why others are incorrect. Config tracks configuration changes, not metric. Inspector performs security assessments, not performance monitoring. CloudTrail logs API activity, not used for real-time performance metric. Which AWS service allows creation of visual dashboards and reports using AWS cost and usage data? Correct answer. Amazon QuickSight. Explanation. Amazon QuickSight is a scalable business intelligence service used to visualize data, including AWS billing data, for analysis and reporting. Why others are incorrect. Athena used to query data, not create dashboards. Organizations manages accounts and permissions, not analytics. CloudWatch monitors resource performance, not cost visualization. How can a company connect two VPCs located in different AWS regions using existing infrastructure? Correct answer, VPC peering. Explanation. VPC peering enables direct communication between two VPCs, even across regions, using existing AWS networking. Why others are incorrect. Direct Connect connects on-premises to AWS, not between VPCs. Client VPN allows user devices to connect to AWS, not for VPC interconnect. Endpoints connect services privately within a VPC, not for VPC to VPC link. Which AWS service defends applications from distributed denial of service attacks? Correct answer, AWS Shield. Explanation. AWS Shield is a managed DDoS protection service that safeguards web applications from large-scale attack. Why others are incorrect. Guard duty threat detection and monitoring, not DDoS specific. Inspector analyzes vulnerabilities in applications and instances. WEF protects from common web exploits, not DDoS.